Hello and welcome. Rahul, you're watching me on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel, my talks. So if you're watching me consistently, welcome back to my channel. I always come up with new ideas and try to inform you of latest development, whatever is happening in the real world. Because I strongly feel that if you keep yourself updated and informed in this modern age, you'll have ample opportunity. And that is why I'm here working as an stimuli. I try to excite you, I try to instill certain positivity, I try to ignite certain light, certain fire within you so that you can embark on a journey and you can hone your skills and try to identify with your, with new opportunities that are coming your ways. So you'll be able to find new avenues in your life. That is what I want to do, because everybody is doing something in their life. They all are busy, and if they will get some information, at this very junction, wherever you are watching certain videos online, if you can gain certain information, what could be better than that? Nowadays, the whole scientific community is talking about quantum computing, because has been a debate after Google's Willow chip. The quantum chip has created a very long and exaggerated debate in the scientific community, because we all know that we are developing quantum computers in the world. It is now a big invention and people are working on that. Along with that, artificial intelligence, they are also amplifying our knowledge. They are trying to build new systems in artificial intelligence as well. So artificial intelligence is a more of a software program, whereas the quantum computers is real hardware. That is what we have to understand. I just want to tell you, if you want to understand quantum phenomena, then understand it very, very subtle way. The classical computers that we have, classical computers, not quantum computers that we have, especially uses information in terms of bits, where it can either store a 0 or 1. How it can store 0? It is mainly used as a transistor, where you can store a voltage, charge voltage, or you can activate it with a current, with current. So if it has voltage or current, it will be 1, or if it doesn't have, it will be 0, just like a on off switch, or so if it has two information, 0 and 1, we can encode using that information. This is called binary system. Every information can be encoded with the help of bits, binary system 0 and 1. Because if you have two bits, it can have four probable answers, like 0 1 1 0 1 1 and 1 0 and 0 1. So there are four types of outcomes, with the help of two bits. But it is done in conventional computers. When it comes to quantum computers, it uses qubits, and qubits are especially electrons or ions, or a special kind of superconducting materials. Their quantum systems are developed. There they perform this kind of computing. So quantum computer actually works with the help of quantum mechanics, the rules of quantum mechanics. And quantum mechanics are the rules of natural in universe. Natural universe, this is the biggest statement. Quantum mechanics define and dictates the rules of natural universe. So if you start doing computing with the help of quantum systems, it actually answers very deeply the call of the very fundamental building blocks of universe. That is what we have to understand. It operates on charged electrons, ions, on these kind of fundamental particles. So what happens here? Qubits are not actually bits, but it can be in superimposition. It can have 0 or 1, or the any data between 0 and 1, or 0 1 altogether. Suppose if you toss a coin, when it is flipping, it will have 0 1 0 1 0 1, or a spinning state, which it has all the data of 0 1. It can have also 1 when it will flips. It can have 0 when it will flip. So all the data, all the superimposition it has, the same is true with the qubits, because the electrons, are spinning, it has a spin. So if it is in lower state, it will be downward. If it will be in higher state, it will be upward, So these the two states, they usually use these phenomena, because in between 0 and 1, they could have any spinning position. So all the data is superposition they have. But how they find information, how they operate on that, that is what we have to understand. With the help of qubits, they can encode data on that, But because of superimpositions of the qubit, much more data can be encoded, on these qubits. So recently the Google that has a Willow chip, it has 105 qubits. So it will have data, almost 2 to the power 105. Suppose if you have 2 qubits, it will have 2 to the power 2, then 4 outcomes. But it will also have superimposition, so it could have many data simultaneously. But what happens, in two stages, we try to find with the amplifying, with the quantum interference, we try to find coherence, and then we try to give result, So what happens when qubits, it stores information, it spins. They try to, when they run, actually there are two types of qubit. One is physical qubit, one is logical qubit. Yeah, logical gates will be there. You have read in your computer science when you will go to do gates, logical gates are there, even in conventional computers. The same is true with the quantum computers, but the material are different, here. When they will do computing, they will amplify the spinning, amplify the actual counting. When the logical qubitting will be working on algorithms, on the functions, they will try to make a wave, and that is why it will also impose on others, it will also interact with other waves, and then what happens, the coherence that it makes, they amplify it, and the coherence that it makes, because of that they usually find result, So this is the fundamental work of quantum computing. So what happens, it has two things. One is superimposition. You understood, any data it could have between 0 and 1, if it stops at a spinning position, what will happen, it will have a phase with either 1 or with a 0, it could have that data also. But after coherence, after the wave, when it will superimpose with others, with the help of quantum interference, they will find the real result, So what is happening? What is happening here? There are two things. One is superimposition. The second one is entanglement, quantum entanglement. And these are the spooky things of the universe that has been defined in quantum mechanics. If something happens to one qubit, and if it is entangled with another one, simultaneously it will have the second result. If you observe here 0, without knowing, you can tell that the other one will have 1. This is the entanglement. This is the relation between the two. If something happens to first, immediately it happens to next one, even faster than the speed of light. So what happens, if you calculate here, if you observe here on the first one, you can easily say that what could have the second one have, what kind of result it would have. So you are calculating faster, because you know that second result would be this. Then after applying algorithms, you can find that exactly what would be result. So actually the processing time, which if you operate on one qubit, but the result is of the entangled particle as well. So what will happen? It will give immediately the result, without even processing that very information, because it has known with the entanglement that this will be the result of second qubit, and when they will integrate it with the algorithms, they will find the result. So such a faster processor, without even wasting time, it has defined the other data as well, and applying algorithms, you are finding the result. Another finding of it is that in conventional computer, if you want to find any encrypted data, suppose a mathematical problem is there, the data is, the password is of 20 bits, so it will go through 1 to 20 bits, 2 to the power 20. Suppose all the data it will have to search the 20 bits exact password, what will match there. But here in quantum computing, it will do sequentially. It will apply 1 2 3 and it will remember all the previous data that it is not functioning, then it will discard the next one, it will search, but here in quantum computing it will go above, it will run parallelly in simultaneous time, it will see with the help of interference, coherence, what would be the exact answer. So it solves time, it minimizes time altogether, and you won't even understand, 2 to the power 103 how much data it is. 105, 2 to the power 105. Even 10 to the power 23 is 1 septillion. Septillion data, 10 to the power 23. And 2 to the power 3 is 8, and 2 to the power 4 is 16, but 2 to the power 3 point something will be approx 10, so 3 into 27, 23, 3 into 23, what will be? 69. So almost 2 to the power 70, almost 2 to the power 70 will be a septillion data. But Google has discovered 2 to the power 105, more than that amount. These are the amount of information that can be stored on a qubit, and it has also superimpositions. So you can suppose that how much information it can store and how parallelly it can run. So such a big, phenomena is happening in quantum computing. The problem is that, when the electron is in a spinning state, so if there is much more thermal energy, it will vibrate, it will spin all together with the help of thermal energy. And that is why to stop that interference, we have to store it at below zero, minus 273 degrees Celsius, almost near to that, the freezing point, the absolute zero. There we have to store the quantum hardware, phenomena that will happen. So this is the complexity, our especially US and China are especially working on quantum computing. The problem is that if we will not go ahead, all the financial inscription that we are running, or financial, institutions or financial data that are happening, the transactions that are happening will be at risk. They will be able to break the encryption quite effectively in very few time. So if we want to encrypt it, we have to encrypt it with quantum encryptions and hard mathematical problems that cannot be solved by the quantum computers altogether. Otherwise we will be vulnerable, we will be at risk. So military communications, financial transactions, weather predictions, these are all important tools. So if you want to save our nation, we have to go through it. We have to invent quantum computers as soon as possible. In 2023, government take an initiative to create national quantum initiative, but the organizations that are developing it, the IIT Madras or IISc Bangalore, I think they are very limited. We should think very deeply. We have to bring more talent. Even military should work, because when we listen to US, initially their military developed the quantum computing. The NASA and military, they're all together, they were working on. And as a myth, we listen to that, and we listen that they stopped the computing program of quantum for a certain period of time. But later on, they are exploring it nowadays, private institutions as well, the government. They're investing much more. China and US is investing much more, but we are far behind, we have to work on that. The problem is that many scientists are talking that quantum computers and computing can create problems, because it is calculating in multiverse, because electrons can be found at the same time in multiple places. So it is very spooky. Heisenberg uncertainty principle, the momentum and position of an electron particle cannot be found, cannot be calculated at the same time. So such a spooky thing, it is calculating between parallel universe. So the message of multi-universe is coming. So it is very difficult, they are observing the result only. They are observing the result, but the phenomena, even they cannot describe how the algorithms have computed all the things. They believe with the quantum mechanics, they are working on the quantum mechanics, and the laws are giving them the results. The computing are giving them the right results, but they are even our brain cannot process that much amount of data and vast problems. We can only see the results, and we can validate that with even with the quantum computers, with the equations of computers. So this kind of vastness is being solved, and we are working on today in the modern era. Suppose as the scientists are very they are threatening that it could be that it could generate the it could change the reality. Even they are talking about that. How? Because the big bang that happened, the scientist postulates that it may have happened because of the quantum phenomena, because of the energy disturbance at a quantum level that created Big Bang, and thereafter the universe is continuously expanding. How we know that the universe is expanding? Because the Hubble, a scientist of Hubbles, Edwin Hubbles or something is in them, scientist of US, he observed that the galaxies are going further away from each other. How he postulates that? He knew that the light coming from the galaxies, from the source, when it will go away, it will shift towards radar. So he calculated redshift, with the spectrum of light that is coming. He calculated the redshift. When you will go, the light source will go farther. What will happen? Its wavelength will increase, frequency will decrease, but wavelength will increase. So it will be more radar when it will increase. So he calculated the redshift, and because of the redshift, wavelength and frequency, he given a law, Hubble law, and based on that they calculated how much farther they are, the time it takes to for light to come us, light years. Light years, we know a light travels in a year, it is called light years, 10 to 10 power 8, whatever it is. So he can calculate the distance because of the based on a spectrum and the redshift of the galaxies. And when he calculated again and again, he found that everything is going away, the universe is expanding. And after that, our thought changed that we are not in a constant universe, we are not in a stable universe, rather we are expanding, and it all is going away. Previously it was together nearer, and it was ending at a point. That was the theory of Big Bang. So suppose if we will manipulate at quantum level with the help of quantum computing, and if quantum computing is happening within parallel universe, it can interact with that kind of energies. That's why they are threatening that even Higgs boson, that is called, they have given the name God particle, that gives masses to little particles, the building blocks of the universe, that gives masses to them. So what, because the electron is quantum, the quantum phenomena we are computing, so it can manipulate the energy and particle all together and can create a different reality. That is what they are afraid of, and it could be true. This go in the scientific, though we don't know, but we are calculating here, we have all the postulates, so we can see that. Did we understand? So such a bizarre thing. Thank you for listening to me.